Opposing Gloves here, and this is the first video in the Harmor from the ground up tutorial series, and this is going to be really fun and really cool. So what is Harmor? Harmor is an additive synthesis engine, and it's got three. So what does that mean? So additive synthesis, basically it's got three tables of information. It's got a table of frequencies, so all the frequencies you can have. It's got a table of phase, all the different phases you can be at, and a table for amplitude, all the different amplitudes. And by combining these three tables in pretty much any way imaginable, you can create pretty much any sound ever. And if you don't know about these things, I have a DSP series. Go check that out. It explains the basics of sound design. But because everything can be broken down into sine waves, you can recreate any sound and even go a little bit farther. You can recreate pictures. So what does this mean for Harmor? Harmor can generate 516 partials or waves per voice. And as a result, it can do extraordinarily well at recreating sounds. And it also gives you some interesting options that for processing wise would not be possible because they could be on a per harmonic basis. And so this also gives you intense control over your sound. So I have a series on harmless, and this is like harmless times like infinity. Like you could do almost anything in Harmor. There was a time when if you asked me if this was my favorite synth or what was my favorite, I'd lay down harmless like hands down. I mean Harmor. I'd be like, that might be an issue too. I may say harmless at points. Just know that I mean Harmor. But yeah, Harmor is totally amazing. Reactor and other more modular synths where they give you insane amount of control over creating your own engines are beginning to get up there on my favorite list. But Harmor is still like top dog for now. So if we go over to, so you have all these envelopes here and they give you just insane control over your sound. And we're going to talk about these envelopes and what they do. By the end of this series, you will be familiar with Harmor. You'll know how to work with it. You'll have knowledge and vision on what you want to do. You'll be able to be directionally creative. And so let's just talk about a few of the basic features. So it's got an imagery synthesis section, and this is really cool. You could take a picture and you can drop it in here and it will analyze your picture and you can hear what it sounds like. But I'm going to just drop an impact sound in there for now. And so what did it just do? Well, these are all the harmonics in our sound. And if we zoom in way close, you can kind of sort of see it. These are the partials. And it's been told, it's analyzed our file and it says, oh, this partial's off at the beginning of the sound and it turns on. So we can recreate really complex overtone structures and really accurately. And so you can put voices in here and you could just do all sorts of nifty things. We have envelopes, as I talked about before, that allow you to just sculpt sounds. Now this is a more advanced feature. If you're looking for a good bass synthesizer, go check out the Harmless from the Ground Up series because it's like good for just learning. But if you're ready to go like way in depth and have control, this is going to be a series you'll enjoy. But you could select your filters and you can also select targets, external targets, or you have a few internal ones. You have envelopes and LFOs. Harmor also has two parts. So you can affect part A without affecting part B. So you could essentially have two sounds going at the same time, except for the global controls. Global controls are global. And you can also do the part link. So whatever changes you make in A will be affected in B. And so that's really cool. You have to turn on part B here. You have some quick morph options. So you can go to any parameter and go to quick map to. Well, not any parameter. Some parameters cannot quick map here. But yeah, you can totally add and do things here to create sounds that anyone could use. You type in your name and save it as a preset and give it to someone. It's really great and wonderful. Now you have this is where your waveform basically is, your timbre. So anyways, yeah, you have just all these features. We're going to cover these as we go. And then you have the image section. We've already talked about this. You can use images, and there's a bunch of things. Because you're going about it in this way, additive synthesis, you're going to have some really unique options when it comes to manipulating these partials. We have an effects section. So you've got distortion, chorus, delay, reverb, compression, all the stuff that you would generally expect. Again, if you haven't watched my DSP series, I highly recommend watching that. It'll give you a really good idea of how sound works on a general level. And then you've got this advanced tab, and it allows you to change unit order and just some other various more in-depth options. The envelopes are, I think, just like the coolest things ever, because you can do like anything with these guys. It's crazy. And yeah, I mean, you can do custom shapes for your filter. You have resonance, pretty much anything you could want. It's here. It could work as a sampler, because you could just drop in a sound and play it. I've turned on part B, and that's why you're getting that other sound. So yeah, you could do that. Like, name another synthesizer that can really do something like this. Like, I don't know one. Razor certainly can't, even though it's additive synthesis as well. It's pretty cool too. So yeah, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and check out my music at composinggloves.com. Subscribe, because you know you want to, and have a blessed day.